Hey everyone, Seth Campbell here. Welcome back to Segway Plays The Legend of Zelda the Wind Waker. In the last episode, we got all of our Triforce Shards deciphered, easy for me to say, by Tingle, who charged an arm and a leg for each one, and now we're down to just 54 rupees. But at least we know where all the Triforce Shards are, buried beneath the waves. So in this episode, we're going to start chasing them down and tackling a few last outstanding things. So the first thing I want to do, just because I sort of have a plan, is to go north to Northern Fairy Island, where there is something. And then there is a Triforce Shard somewhere near Gale Isle, so that is our first real important destination. But I will first see you at Northern Fairy Island. Well, here we are at Northern Fairy Island, and what on earth would we be doing here, you ask? Is it a treasure chart spot? Not this time, my friend. This time, we are looking, and I think I might have seen it, but I also just want to make sure there isn't a blue choo-choo with available jelly here. But there is an old man ho-ho pointing us in the right direction. If I'm not mistaken, he must be looking for... Oh, sorry. So that is how that works. That wouldn't make sense for it to be what I'm looking for. But it is what I'm looking for. I don't know what he means by how it works, but there's a submarine up there. And so we are going to chase down that submarine. All this talk of submarines, I of course have Yellow Submarine in my head. You know, the Beatles, we all live in a yellow submarine. But I want to give a shout out to the infamous YouTuber Google Translate Sings, aka Melinda Kathleen Reese, who is just an incredibly talented musician and comedian and performer. And among other things, she does Google Translate, where she takes the lyrics of songs and puts them through Google Translate in several different languages and then back to English, and sees how they come out, and then somehow she sings the new lyrics to, like, the mistranslated lyrics to the original melody. And I saw this recently, and Yellow Submarine came out as Amber Subdomain. So when I hear Yellow Submarine in my head now, I always just hear, we all live in an Amber Subdomain. Amber Subdomain. So shout out to Melinda Kathleen Reese and Google Translate Sings. Check her out if you haven't. You probably have, because she's super famous, and she's deservedly so, because she's incredible. But anyway, lots of moblins on board this particular submarine. Why has nothing happened? Is there another one? Oh, no. It's not about defeating the moblins. It's about swinging from the lanterns. I see. Well, we all remember how this went. Let's see. Can I... Yep. Please be forgiving. Yes, good. Because that was not a great launch. Not too sure about this angle. Yep. Nope, that was a bad idea. Okay. As you can see, it can be forgiving, but not that forgiving. So, if you're unsure of your angle before you jump, I'd advise just taking the time to readjust, because as long as it takes and as annoying as it is, it's less time and less annoying than falling down and having to start all over. see here. Okay, this looks better.
Yep.
Yep. One more. And...
Yep.
got it. Patience, just to make totally sure I'm going to be able to get all the way over, because I don't want to do that again. And as you might expect, based on the chest, it's another treasure chart. And with this one, we only have 2 more treasure charts to go. Can you believe it? We are really winding down as far as the collectibles aspect of this game. So now I am going to sail east to Gale Isle. And we will try to pick up our first Triforce Shard. We mean business now. I will see you when we get there. Well, here we are at Gale Isle, and that you are seeing over there is not just a normal Triforce chart light. Uh-oh, cannon boat. Better take this guy out or he's never gonna let us. Salvage it, but fortunately he seems to be totally disoriented about which way he's facing. So now, here it is. We are approaching our first shard of the legendary Triforce. You got a Triforce Shard. You need 7 more shards to form a complete piece of the Triforce. Short and sweet, but that's exactly what it is. So, what now? Well, even though we were just at flight control platform, there was something else out there that I missed, which is part of what I was saying. Oh no, when I looked at the submarine chart, it is in fact a submarine. So I'm going to warp to Dragon Roost Island and head east to the flight control platform, and I'll see you there, and we will find the submarine on the flight control platform. Or near the flight control platform, rather. Actually, I'm going to tell a story on the way there, because you guys have no idea how close to disaster I just came. Because the last episode, you know, it'll be cut down by the time it, you know, because there's a lot of travel time cut out and stuff, so it'll be cut down by the time it reaches YouTube. But I had recorded for like 50 minutes, so it was a pretty long episode, and there was a lot of, I thought, funny and witty commentary. Hopefully you'll agree. But in the beginning of recording this episode, about halfway between Northern Fairy Island and Gale Isle, I just got this sinking feeling, like, did I save the audio? And here's how I do this when I'm doing a batch recording. I'm recording multiple videos at once. Is I just have Audacity open, and after each recorded video, I export the audio and save it, and then I just delete the audio track and start recording a new one. Well, I actually stopped audio and video recording to check whether or not I had saved, and to my horror, I hadn't. So I thought, oh no, I've lost all the commentary, but maybe, just maybe, I can use just undo and get it all the way back to where it was. So the first thing I did was, obviously export the first part of, whoa, this is dark and spooky. I had, let's see, press the switch, lights come on, and so do the Wizrobes. Anyway, so I exported the first part of the commentary for this episode and everything, and then just kept pressing undo, and I managed to go back far enough that the audio track for the last episode appeared, and so I managed to save all the commentary, and of course I exported and saved it, which is great, and I am so relieved. You guys have no idea how scared I was. And then in worst case scenario, I could do post-commentary, or I could go to an alternate save file that was way back, but then I'd have to replay the previous 3 episodes of gameplay, which was a lot. Because I've done a lot of recordings in one night. Because I'm trying to keep ahead of my schedule, because I've got so many different projects going on that I've fallen way behind. Let's see. Need a bow and arrow. But managed to save it, so we're okay. Is that it, or are there more? There's more. And mini blends, because why not? And the thing is, it's hard to L-target the Wizrobes, because the mini blends keep charging in and stealing the L-target. Gotcha! Okay, is that it? Yes. And this here is the platform chart. Now you can find the platforms out on the high seas. Yes, it's another special chart, which we will look at as soon as we get out of this submarine. More mini blends. Okay. Yes, so this shows us where all of the platforms are. So if you're just looking for stuff, you know, here you go. Again, would be nice, I feel like, if it crossed it out once you were done with it. But, well, you can't have everything. Anyway, where do we go from here? Well, due south is the Starbelt Archipelago, and if I'm not mistaken, there is a open treasure chart. Oh, let's see. This is one we got. Oh, Spectacle Isle, where we were just nearby. It would have been handy, but oh, okay. Yes, the Starbelt Archipelago is just south of us, so I am going to go there and pick up that treasure chart. Treasure. Redundant. I'm just basically going square by square here. So I'll see you 1 square south. Here we are, and there it is. Little too soon. How about now? Okay. This ought to do it. What do we got? Silver rupee! Well, seeing as we lost basically all our rupees to Tingle, and that Kargarok is about to attack me, it's good to get a little bit back, don't you think? Okay, Fire Mountain is actually to the left of us. And... pretty sure... oh, these are the Triforce Shards. Wait a minute. I'm basically planning my route by this. I swear there was one that was Fire Mountain. Yep, there is. Okay, we're gonna go west. I will see you whoa. Angry Kargarok in the frame. That's pretty cool. But I'll see you 1 square west. Here we are back at Fire Mountain, and for those of you wondering, and I was also wondering, because I never really thought to double check this, I guess, once you complete the relevant quests on Fire Mountain and Ice Ring Isle, they remain in their slightly tamed state. So it makes it easier if you've missed anything or want to see if you missed anything. And it's a silver rupee. So, where do we go now? Let's see. Northern Triangle Isle, I believe, also has something I am looking for. There is a treasure chart spot there. I'm essentially just doing a big sweep. Yep. So we're going to do that. Let me check the incredible shard as well. So this is, you know, theoretically I could cut all this out, but this really is the essence of this part of this game. Oh, there's one north of me. Okay. Yeah. Here's what I'm going to do. Gonna go north, where I already was, and should have... oh no, I wasn't up there, I guess, so I'm off the hook. Okay, I'm going to go 2 squares north, going to get that piece of Triforce, and then I am going to go to Northern Triangle Isle, and I know how I'm going to work things from there. I know what I'm doing! But I'll meet you 2 squares to the north of here. Which will find us at... the 7-Star Isles. Yep, that's where I will meet you. Well, here we are. Again at the 7-Star Isles, and again there are cannon ships. I don't know if these guys were here before. They might have just shown up to guard the Triforce Shards. This guy's shots are getting too close for comfort. Yeah, knew they were gonna hit me soon. Okay. Now. Okay, I'm a little to the north. That fast turn trick really is handy. Oh, no. Don't climb out of the boat. Almost there. Now. You got another Triforce Shard. Now you only need 6 more. Yep, 2 out of 8. So, as I said, next I want to go to Northern Triangle Island. Northern Triangle Isle, so I am going to warp to Windfall. And I'll meet you there. There is a method to this madness, but as I said, this really is the definitive experience of this part of the game, which is why I'm not cutting it out or abbreviating it all that much. You know, cutting out the island travel, but not the exploring. So, see you at Northern Triangle Isle. And here we are at Northern Triangle Isle. And it is indeed a treasure chart spot that I am after. Oh, right on it. That was a good stopping time. For stuff like that, I can see why in the HD remake they essentially made the Great Sea a lot shallower. It takes a lot less time to reach down and pick stuff up. We got the Octo chart. Now you know where to find the big Octos. Yes, this is another special chart. Let's check it out. If I can, that's the one thing is, you know, you get this many charts. It can take a while to scroll through all of them. But there you go. It shows the Octos and it shows how many eyes they have. The red one down there with just the 4 eyes is, of course, the one with the fairy magic. We have taken out, let's see, how many of these? They can have 4 of them. So there are 2 remaining, which we will probably spot in our travels still to come. Actually, let me look at that again. Oh yeah, okay, we did the 1-1 square west of here, so never mind. We're gonna go northwest, back by Spectacle Isle, because now we have a treasure chart that has something there, so I'm gonna meet you at Spectacle Isle now. Back here at Spectacle Isle. A little too far, I think. Another silver rupee. Now, admittedly, there aren't many things we're going to need a ton of rupees for. But I do want to show all the treasure charts and such so you know what they are. And it's, you know, it's also, it's good to have rupees. And if you're playing and need rupees for Tingle and somehow, you know, haven't done as many battles or haven't gone through as many pots and such as I have to get as many as I've gotten, these are all excellent places that you can get some. Okay, so there aren't really many. There's only one left in the northern half, and I know where that is. But there are a couple islands to the far west that I would like to go to, and one is 2 squares to the rest. To the west, it is the last reef that we have yet to clear. And I'll meet you there at Four Eye Reef. Surprise! Slight change of plans. We are going one more square to the north to the Forsaken Fortress first because there's a treasure chart spot there. And I think it would be most efficient to get that now. I've decided I'm essentially going to try to clear the northern half of the Great Sea in this particular episode. And it doesn't get much more north than the Forsaken Fortress. And there's the beam of light that I was looking for. Right on it. I'm getting kind of good at this. For someone with no depth perception, no less. Another silver rupee. We are rich. Once again. Haha, Tingle. Haha, haha. And you're not getting any of it, Tingle. Alright, now we're heading south from here. Now we're going to Four Eye Reef. And I will see you there. Here we are at Four Eye Reef. This is the last reef that we will have to clear, although one of the Triforce charts does have us going into a reef. So I don't know if the cannons have reappeared. If they have, we might be in trouble. But with this last reef, I do in fact have a story prepared. So, long ago in this Let's Play, I referenced the Livingston Taylor song Kitty Hawk and talked about how it's one of my favorite Livingston Taylor songs. And I actually have a bit of a follow-up story as it relates to it. I took Livingston Taylor's stage performance course at Berkeley. He's a professor at Berkeley. And I really enjoy the class. He's a wild one. But very, very funny guy. And so I took Stage Performance 1 and Stage Performance 2, and by the end of that second semester of Stage Performance courses with him, I figured, I knew him well enough to take a risk. In that I decided, because the idea of Stage Performance is, there's about, 30 of us, and each week about 5 or 6 of us would perform basically a song of our choosing. And he would give us feedback on our performance technique and our connection with our audience, as would our classmates. And so I decided, because I had known and loved this song of his for a really long time and had learned to play it many years before, that I would perform Livingston Taylor's song Kitty Hawk in Livingston Taylor's class in front of Livingston Taylor. And the way I led up to it was, I told the story the first time I heard it, but I did it in a really roundabout way. And I did the research to find out the exact date that I first saw him in concert, which I want to say was October 17th. It was October 2007, so I started up the story. I'm trying to find the remaining canon here. This day in October the 17th was a busy day for New England sports fans. The Patriots, on their way to an undefeated season, had a game early. The Red Sox, on their way to a World Series, had a game late. And in the middle, my parents had gotten us tickets to see a show. And... oh, wait, I already did this reef. Oh, no, I just wasted a tremendous amount of time. Okay, so... huh. Okay. Well, never mind, but I gotta tell the story. And between these two big games, my parents had gotten the family tickets to see an artist perform at the local theater. And I, being a stupid little kid at the time, didn't know anything about this artist other than the fact that he was James Taylor's brother. And when I said that, the entire class, I heard an intake of breath. I'm going to continue sailing south because I do have something to do at Western Ferry Island. Because, obviously, Livingston and James, there's a certain amount of sibling rivalry there, that they do seem to be pretty close. And I saw Livingston stand up and start pacing. And so I quickly made sure to say, now, as soon as I heard this guy's music, I forgot all about that because I was just so enraptured with how incredible the music was. And there was this one song he performed. And I look over and say, and Livingston's writing an F next to my name on the attendance sheet as I speak. And he says, no, just trying to remain dispassionate and impartial. I said, so there was this one song, a song he had written about the Wright brothers learning to, inventing the airplane. That just struck me, and, I talk about the song, and I said, so here I am many years later, and it's become one of my favorite songs. And I would love to perform it for you now. And so I did, and I figured it could go one of two ways. He would either absolutely love it or absolutely hate it. Fortunately, he absolutely loved it. And it was one of the highlights of my Berklee career, easy. Which is a tremendous memory. He was very nice about it. He said it was really cool to hear someone else play his song. And actually, this is the kind of researcher I am. Thanks to YouTube, I found a verse that didn't make it onto the album, but that he used to perform live. So I threw that verse in there as well. So, Livingston, I want to, not that you'd be watching this, but just putting it out into the universe, I want to thank you for the great memories, fun class. Really appreciated it, and glad you were a good sport. So that's one of the stories from Berklee as we get a silver rupee at Western Fairy Island here. Now, next thing I want to do is go to Greatfish Island. We can warp there because that is where the last piece of Triforce that is in the northern hemisphere, I guess, of the Great Sea can be found. Okay. Yep, there it is. Triforce Chart 1. I do have to change the wind direction to actually get to the island, which is a little annoying. Probably should have done northwest, but this'll do. There's Beetle. Maybe I can buy some stuff from him while I'm at it. Get closer, because I do want to show the gold membership. Just in the interest of completion, even though this obnoxious cheapskate has already screwed me. See some arrows. Can't buy any more. Can I have bombs? Yep, bombs. Okay, 40 points. More bombs. Can't buy any more bombs. Red potion. Why not? I don't like you, Beetle, but I'm doing this for the sake of completion and for the sake of my viewers. Okay, let's weave our way through here. Huh. Where am I? Oh, there it is. Alright. And this will be shard number 3. And indeed it is. So, with that... Oh, that's odd. I thought... Okay. So, I want to go to Tower of the Gods and Thorn Fairy Island to pick up a couple treasure chart objects, and we will call it for this episode because we will have cleared, for all intents and purposes, the northern half of the Great Sea. And that is pretty incredible. Seems like just yesterday we set out from Outset Island. But in actuality, it was much, much longer ago because I have not been consistent enough in recording these videos. Okay. Oh, this is the one. Yep, okay. Just get around the side here. I don't feel like changing the wind direction. I'm just gonna have to change it again in a minute anyway. Another silver rupee! Hopefully not all of that ends up going to Beetle just for the sake of a gold membership. But with that, I'm going to sail east to Thorn Fairy Island, and I will meet you there, and that is where we will wrap things up for this episode. Oh, no. Oh, wait. What? Oh, I'm so dumb. Okay, everybody, well, I got good news and bad news. The good news is here we are at Thorn Fairy Island. The bad news is I do have to go all the way back to Four Eye Reef because I was supposed to do something there, and it wasn't clear the reef. It was dig up a treasure chart object. Yeah, that's it over there, and that was on treasure chart 41, and that's how I figured out that I had to do it. So we're not quite clear with the northern half just yet. We have one final stop to make after this one. No, maybe the other side. Piece of heart! And so that means there are only 2 pieces of heart left to find. And there is also only 1 treasure chart left to find. Can't warp to Mother and Child Isles, unfortunately, so I have to warp to Tingle Island and then go all the way back to Four Eye Reef, which I really just should have taken care of this when I was there, but I had written in my notes that I had to clear the reef because of, I don't know, my bad. But I'll meet you back at Four Eye Reef, and that will be the end of this episode, because that will be the end of the northern hemisphere of the Great Sea. That actually sounded much more threatening than it was supposed to. That will be the end of the northern hemisphere of the Great Sea. No, that will be the end of our collectathon for the northern hemisphere of the Great Sea. Much less threatening when I say it that way. Okay, see you at Four Eye Reef. Here we are, back at the reef, and there's that big column of light that I really should have seen last time I was here. But I was too busy bragging about performing for Livingston Taylor, I guess. That's what I get for being full of myself. Oops. Anyway, although I really did think I did come here thinking that I had to clear the reef because it was a mistake in my note-taking. Probably have to clear the reef again anyway, just to be able to get a clean shot at pulling up the treasure. These reefs are annoying. But this is the last one we will ever have to do. He was really staring down the barrel of that guy. His cannon does not move very fast. I think that might be something else they fixed in the HD one, is to make the cannon move faster. Yeah. Yeah, this is why it doesn't do good to stay still for any length of time. Okay. Let's get this guy, and I think we're golden. Gotcha. Okay. Now. I think it'll just be faster to cycle around this way. Yep, treasure chart 41. And with this, we pick up our last treasure in the northern hemisphere of the Great Sea. And let's see what it is. It is the Great Fairy chart, another special chart. Now you can find the Great Fairies and the Fairy Queen. Yes, so if the fact that certain islands were the fairy islands was not clear enough for you, or I guess if you just haven't found them, this will tell you where to find them. And of course, the two that are marked is the Fairy Queen and the fairy that is inside the Great Octo, or the Big Octo, the Great Fairy that has been eaten by the Big Octo in the southern border there. But with that, we have gotten a lot done in this episode. We have gotten 3 of the 8 Triforce Shards, so there are 5 of those to go. There is 1 treasure chart to go. There are 2 pieces of heart. I am saving just to be safe. Incidentally, this is something really cool. The Triforce Shards show up, you know, just as pieces in this big triangle here on the quest status screen, which I think is a nice touch. So there are 2 pieces of heart left, 1 treasure chart left, 5 Triforce Shards left to find. And we will tackle those and the rest of the southern portion of the Great Sea in the next episode. See you then.